Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be looking at the latest poll and all of my toss-up states as of right now from DDHQ. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop a comment down below. And so these were the 2020 presidential election results. We could see it was a very close election. However, now polling data suggests Donald Trump could win in a potential landslide this time around. And we're going to be looking at the latest poll from every single state. The first state going west to east is the state of Oregon, where we'll see that in the latest poll, Biden is up by 12 percentage points in a head-to-head, and with third-party candidates included, he's actually only up by 11 points, so that is going to go in the likely Democrat column as of right now. And the next thing we're going to be looking at in the state is actually quite interesting here. I actually didn't even see this, but this poll from April 14th to the 21st actually has him only up by 4 points against Trump. That's actually really interesting. I didn't even see that poll. However, the next state we're going to be looking at is the state of Nevada. This is a state, Biden won by 2.4 percentage points last time around. And we're going to see in the latest poll, Donald Trump's actually up by 5 percentage points with third-party candidates included. That puts the state in the likely Republican column. This state, the last time it voted likely Republican, was actually, more than likely Republican, actually voted for 21 points for Bush, back in 1988. After that, it has been a lean slash likely state the entire time. It has not voted 10 points for one candidate in quite some time. So the next state we're going to be looking at is the state of Arizona. This is a state Biden won by 0.3 percentage points. We see in the latest poll that Trump is also up by 5 with third-party candidates included there. We see in these polls over here, there's more Senate polls and whatnot. But yep, Trump is basically up by 5 in that poll as of right now. So we're going to be putting that in the likely Republican column. The next state is Colorado, which is interesting because this state actually, very much favored, President Biden last time. And this is a state where it's not looking too great, for Trump here, especially since the state has been going, to the left. However, the latest poll from John Zodby Strategies actually only has Biden up by 6 percentage points with an other category included as well, which is quite interesting. We even see his approval rating here is actually pretty abysmal. As of right now, at least Biden's is pretty bad. So that is also interesting to actually look at. His favorables here are actually worse than Donald Trump's, believe it or not, which is actually quite interesting. We see the state like New Mexico. Again, there has been not a lot of new polling data out of the state of New Mexico. We actually haven't gotten a poll since a very, very long time ago. However, the John Zogby Strategies poll, actually, they did a poll for New Mexico. It's a +7 poll as of right now. That's going to put the state in the likely Democrat column as of right now. Nebraska is second. If we were to go here, which I don't know if they actually have the Nebraska second polling, they may or may not have it. Let's see if they actually have it here. I believe they're actually not going to have it here. However, I do remember it. It was a +5 poll for Biden in the last poll. However, even though it was a more like basically Republican leaning pollster, it actually ended up being a +5 poll for him. So that's actually pretty sad for Trump there. If we go to the state of Illinois, we will see in the latest poll, according to John Zogby Strategies, Biden's actually up by 13 here. And when you do it like this, Trump's actually only down by about 9 points in the state. That's going to put that in the likely Democrat column. Minnesota is a state that's also interesting because the polling aggregate's kind of really close. The latest poll here actually only has Biden up 2 there. And if we look over here, we'll see it's also a 2+ percentage point victory there. That's going to put the state of Minnesota in the lean Democrat column. Wisconsin's a state that Biden won, just barely in the last election. And we do actually see in the latest poll with third-party candidates included with likely voters, Trump is actually up by 1 percentage point as of right now. But believe it or not, actually, here we do have the third-party sample. For whatever reason, he's actually up by 5. Biden's up by 5 points there. So even though this is not my personal prediction, Wisconsin is going to be put in the likely category based out of this. I do have to go off the likely voter screen with third-party candidates included. That's just how I do these videos. So that would put Wisconsin in the likely Democrat column as of right now. The next state's going to be the state of Michigan, which is an interesting one because if you look at the latest poll with third-party candidates included, Biden's actually barely up in this poll, literally just about 2 points or even like a percentage point with the likely voter screen as of right now. That puts the state in the lean Democrat column. Trump right now is literally at 268 electoral college votes. If we go to the state of Pennsylvania, which is another state that Biden, was able to eke out in the last election. If we look at the latest polling data from FAU with a likely voter screen and third-party sample, we'll see that Biden is actually barely ahead by 1 percentage point. So this is the first time in a very long time that Biden's actually leading all the polls in a Rust Belt in a video like this. However, you are going to see that Donald Trump will actually be saved in this, in the next couple states. You see that Trump will be able to pull this one out, guys. In the state of Virginia, we're actually going to see the latest poll, believe it or not, very shockingly, actually has the state as a tie here. And with third-party candidates, Biden's barely ahead by 2 percentage points in this poll. If we go to the state of New York, we're also going to see a very much narrowing of the polls there. Biden's only ahead by 7 points, according to an Emerson College poll, with an other option included. So that's also pretty interesting to look at there as well. If we look at Delaware, which is in my toss-up category, by the way, this is quite interesting. We're going to see Biden's ahead by 11, according to John Zogby's strategy. So we're going to be putting that in the likely Democrat column. New Jersey, in the latest poll, we're going to be pulling this one up. This is another Democrat state. We're going to see Biden's up by 9 percentage points in this poll. In the last two states, New Hampshire and Maine at large, we're going to see New Hampshire be a very interesting case because in the latest poll, Trump is actually down by about 3 points with likely voters and all third-party candidates included. So that's going to put the state in the lean column. We see both candidates are at 268 electoral votes. So who is actually going to end up barely pulling this one out? Well, it looks like Donald Trump is actually going to be the one to pull it out in Maine. He's actually leading by 2 percentage points in Maine in the latest poll, which would get him just barely above the 270 electoral votes that he would need to win the presidency. So according to the latest polling data from Decision Desk HQ, Donald Trump is barely eking out the presidential election with 270 electoral college votes to Joe Biden's 268 electoral college votes. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and drop a comment down below. And I will see you guys very, very soon.